Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here today to talk about linen. This is one of my new favorite things, at least when it comes to fabric and making my own clothes from. So right now I'm actually wearing just a very simple basic linen shirt that I made, as well as a skirt. You can see it here, it's a big full skirt. It's the only kind I ever wear. I make myself all my own skirts. And I am just absolutely enamored with linen and how good it makes me feel, how it keeps me cool when it's hot and warm when it's cool. And so I wanted to share a little bit of information about it, some of the things I've made, as well as the health benefits of linen that I've been looking into, and was really quite surprised. And I'm talking about actually looking at medical sites, even the National Institutes of Health, and some scientific information there, which I believe I have an article I can link to down below if I remember. So I'll show you first. There's a couple more skirts that I made. I made this one here in this kind of coral color or rust color red, and then all of my skirts you'll see have tassels on them, and I just actually sew loops into between the first and second tier that I can hook the tassels onto. Some skirts like this red one and this green one and even the brown one I'm wearing, the tassels are, even though they're not permanent, I can remove them. I didn't use clips on them because they just stay on there even when I wash the skirt. Those are all made out of cotton. But then the other thing I started doing after that, because I loved them so much, is I've always, with my skirts, worn something under them. So I started off just wearing leggings to where I got to where I could not stand the feel of leggings. Now this is like a cotton spandex kind of legging, not a 100% nylon or polyester. But the more I've gone along through the years, the more I found I just cannot handle wearing unnatural fabrics like polyester, nylon, and more. And so I then switched to 100% cotton sweatpants that I then took and remade them to be more like knickers under my, because it was easier just to buy some $10 100% cotton sweats and then just refabricate them a little bit. And I think I did a video on this a while back where I talked about how I did that. I even have an even older video showing how you can make your own homemade leggings. Well, now I don't do any of that. I decided I preferred something light and loose. And now I make the bloomer / knickers, whatever you want to call them, out of linen, preferably in a color to match, like I did here with these little pants. And so what I do is I put a very loose elastic band on it so it can sit low on my hips, and that way I can tie the skirt above them, and they're very loose and baggy. And then I put some elastic at the bottom so that they're not going to drag down below my feet. They're going to keep, and because the elastic around the ankle, that's also going to help keep me warmer in the wintertime. But let me tell you, we've had some hot days recently. Even though it's the time I'm shooting this, even though it's fall, we've actually had a couple of really, really warm days, and being able to wear the linen pants underneath the skirts is just, it keeps me so cool. I do not get overheated. And then again, I made some green ones. I've also made myself pajama sets out of the linen, and really all this started back when somebody it was Darlene who had shared in, I can't remember what video it was on, but she shared how she had bought themselves some linen sheets and she loves them, could never go back. And she was sharing with me some of why she liked it so much. I'm like, you know what? I've never thought of trying linen sheets. I'm going to give those a try. And so I bought a set that definitely about twice as expensive as cotton sheets, 100% cotton. But immediately I found they were perfect, because especially when you're a menopausal woman who's still going through hot flashes on occasion, what I found is with the linen sheets, the hot flashes were minimized to, having far less. And even when I do have one, they dissipate quite quickly, because unlike with the cotton sheets, it would seem to radiate the heat right back at me and just prolong the agony. The linen sheets felt like they actually pulled the heat away from my body so that I could get through it a lot faster. And I'm like, wow, if that's the way it is with the sheets, I would like to see what it's like wearing like a linen skirt and some other articles, and I found that it's perfect. I just don't, especially for like the skirt and the underpants. I don't want to wear anything else. I could never go back to leggings with polyester or spandex or anything like that in them. I don't even think I could go back to the 100% cotton sweatpants I was wearing underneath. And the purpose for that, some people might not understand it. To me, it's just that added layer of modesty. And then, of course, in the wintertime, it'd be warmth. But even in the summertime, I'd still like wearing something underneath. And with the linen pants and the linen skirt, it's it's actually cooler than wearing shorts where you got the direct heat and sun hitting your legs. When you've got the skirt, your legs are being protected from all that heat. And then the way it flows is keeping you cooled down. And I love it. So I've even thought about making myself some shirts like this. I still love my flannels, especially in the wintertime. I'll be wearing my flannels. But I'm even thinking about making some outer shirts for wearing over the more simple shirts, for at least for summertime, to keep me cooler, because I'm loving it so much. Now, I've also made a lot of linen napkins, which I've made some before out of some heavier weight linen, and they're okay. But this linen is maybe just a little bit more to the light medium weight, and so it's perfect for pretty much everything without it being too translucent. It's pretty opaque. And so I'm very happy with this. So I've been taking the excess material and making myself all new cloth napkins, which I've been making and using my own cloth napkins for quite a number of years. In fact, I think by the time you're seeing this, if it hasn't published yet, it will publish soon. I just remastered video where I was making homemade napkins, and in that one I didn't show making the linen, but I do mention that. And in fact, I'm going to go get those napkins because I forgot to bring them in here. And here are those napkins. So I've got the red and the green and some navy and brown, because I made myself a couple of brown skirts. So the skirts, some of them I'm making to keep nice for just, when I want to look nice, when I'm going out, going to our friends, or having company over. And then some skirts I'm making specifically for work skirts. So I have a black skirt and a brown skirt that are specifically for work skirts around the house. And that way I can have some that I can keep nicer, because I will definitely get stains on them. That's just me. They're work skirts. And what I'm hoping is, from what I've learned so far about linen, is it does hold up better than cotton. And I've had to toss some of my old cotton skirts because for work skirts, I wear them out way too fast. I keep sewing them back together, patching them up. And finally, it's just time for these to go. So I'm hoping the linen's going to last longer, thus helping to make up the difference in cost, because linen is definitely more expensive by the yard. And then the other thing I'm doing, this is some of what I got done, is I got some non-dyed linen, just the natural, and I'm making new covers for my dehydrator racks. And I still have like 5 more of these I need to hem, so I have enough for both sets of dehydrators. And that is, whenever I'm doing herbs, anything that's, not wet and sticky kind of thing, I can lay these on there. It will prevent stuff from falling through the racks and actually help it dry faster. The 100% cotton sheets work really great for that, and that's what I've been using. But because linen breathes even better than cotton, I'm anxious to see how well the linen's going to work for that. And I happen to have enough of that color, I can make myself another top when I'm all done doing these. And so I'm kind of excited about that. Where I get my linen, that's a question I get asked a lot. Now, the first linen I came across for the best price, I will put the link down below. It's the best price only when you can buy the 2-yard cuts, and they're finished all the way around. But when I did the math, according to the yard, they're 72 inches wide, those cuts. That was the best deal I was coming across. If you get the 1-yard cut, it's about comparable to most other places, which is about $20 a yard. But for $26 a yard, $27 a yard, usually there's like a 10 or 15% coupon you can also clip that that really brings the price down because that's for the 2-yard cut. So you're getting twice as much. When I break it down per square footage, I can't remember what the numbers were I came up with, but it was a lot cheaper than anything else I was coming up with. And that's on Amazon. So I'll put that link below. And then there's another company called 3H Linen that I found, because this one here does not carry, they have all these great colors, the navy, the brown, and the natural, but they didn't have black, and I really, really wanted black. And so I found 3hlinen.com. I'll link to them down below. I'm not affiliated with them, but when I first found them, they had the second best price because you could get, I think it was 106 or 108 inches wide fabric for linen for $21 a yard. And so I bought a whole bunch of black. I just invested in it because I knew I wanted to make a couple skirts, some pants for wearing under my skirts, and not just these, but my patchwork skirts, my cotton ones, and a vest and whatever else I could make out of it. And then I got free shipping too. They offered me free shipping, which was really great. It took a while to get it in because they were out when I ordered it. So it was on back order. But once it came in, I was really, really happy with it. I did find it was a little bit heavier than this, but I still think it's great, especially for work skirts, because I think it's going to hold up even better. Now, sadly, though, when I went back and I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go ahead and order some of that lovely peacock color, at least put it in my cart and think about it, I noticed that the prices had all changed so that the narrower width was now $21 and the wider width that was going to be the best deal is now $36 a yard. Now, as of today that I'm shooting this, I noticed that the black was still the same, whichever size you got. It was 21 or 21, depending, on either width. And I don't know if that was just a mistake. So I can't guarantee it's still going to be that. But when I first found the company, it was $12 a yard for the narrower width, which I think was 52 inches. And then 21 for the wider width. So you'll just have to look into that. And I've been trying to look around for some other companies that might have a comparable price. It seems like typically what you're going to find in most cases is going to be about $20 a yard for anywhere from 50 to 60 inch wide fabric. If you're going to get serious about it, it's just going to take up probably a lot of looking. And I'm sure depending on where you are at in the world is also going to depend on what you're going to find at a good price near you. But still, that link to Amazon, that is the best price. Again, only if you get the 2-yard cuts. And if they're out of the color you want in the 2-yard cuts, just wait and keep checking back because they'll get them back in. And I noticed they're adding more colors. Like the brown was a newer color. They now have pink. They have a light sage color. They have like 3 different shades of green now. They originally just had this, and now they have like a brighter green, and then they have the sage green, which is a nice light color, very pretty color. And I think there's a light blue as well. So I'm hoping they just keep getting more colors. Now, let me just read off to you a few things when I was looking into it that I came across about linen and its benefits. And one is that it is antibacterial, which is why in hospitals, at least for a very long time, linen was used for bandages because of the antibacterial nature of them, plus the fact that they're breathable and allow that oxygen flow, which can really be important when it comes to healing. It's also anti-static, ultra hygienic, long-lasting and durable, odor resistant, great for people with sensitive skin, and can help improve sleep, as I can attest to. I sleep so much better on my linen sheets than ever before. That alone, getting good sleep, is worth that extra cost for the sheets themselves. And then hoping that they do continue to be durable as it all claims, that's definitely going to be worth it. It's probably going to outlast any of the cotton sheets I've ever had. Some other things about it in hospitals is that not only was it used for wound dressings, it was commonplace that it was used in the bedding in the hospitals because of it would help to speed healing, generally speaking. And people would sleep better. Now I'm assuming they probably have mostly microfiber, which that should be avoided like the plague. And yes, there was an NIH article, so I'll be linking to that down below, where they did all these tests and studies about how linen does definitely help with wound healing. And so you can look into that. Those articles can be long and dry. I don't read all of them. I usually just kind of skim through. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go down to the conclusion and the remarks there. But if you're really interested in the science and how they do the testing, that's all laid out in these articles. There's a lot of talk about frequencies and how Dr. Heidi Yellen had done it, frequency tests on different fabrics and the human body and different things, and found that linen and wool both put off frequencies of 5,000. From what I understand, if you wear anything that is above 100, that's going to be a lot better for your health. And organic cotton is one of those that's, I think, at 100 or a little bit higher. Oh, and there is science there. It's not all. Sometimes we hear the word frequent. I know I did at first too. We hear that word and we automatically think of like New Ageism and witchcraft and stuff. And there's frequencies all around us. We all know this. We have electromagnetic frequencies. There's all kinds of different frequencies, and everything puts off a frequency, from what I understand. And so I haven't looked deeply into the science on that. I think it would be worthwhile to look into when time allows. And so you can look into that instead of just throwing the baby out with the bathwater, just kind of maybe learn more about that. But anyway, that is what is said. Anything that you wear that has a higher frequency than what your body puts out is going to help to promote healing. And what I can say for certain is that the more linen I wear and the more I get away from unnatural fabrics, the better I feel, generally speaking. And so there's got to be some truth to this, unless of course it's just the placebo effect. But I tell you, I didn't know all this about the healing properties of linen until I started using it in the sheets and in my skirts and more. All right, well, that's it for my video on the linen. And if you have any thoughts, ideas you would like to share, please put those in comments down below. And maybe you found some places that sell linen either in your own country or here in the US that have a really good price, and you can share the name of that company down below. And what are your experiences with linen and working with it? What are your favorite things to make with it or to use made out of linen? And so we can get some more ideas from you as well. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.